this is going to be very out of nowhere, but we got to the end of the episode and we realized, so we basically recorded this like Pulp Fiction, and we just we're like doing it out of order. But this is really important, so we're going to put it back at the beginning. It is almost our 500th episode, which is pretty wild to think about.
Yeah.
But also that means that we needed to do something for our 500th episode. And so what we decided to do was rent out a simulator place called Denver Racing Social here in Denver. We are going to do a live taping of our show, which is perhaps ill-advised. We don't know. But we're going to celebrate our 500th
one other time. Yeah.
Yes. If you are in Denver and you would like to attend and you have not heard from us with an invite, when you hear this, please reach out to us, 720-515-1391. Space is limited. So the sooner you let us know. The date that we're going to be recording this is April 10th. So please let us know as soon as you can.
Yes.
We'd love to see you all there. We're trying to think of everybody who we know of in Denver who will be here for sure. But if we've missed anybody, please reach out to us because we are not good at this.
Yeah, and I mean, we forgot to record this thing, so it makes sense that we forgot to forgot to ping people that we want there, that we would love to have, that we want to celebrate. So yes. So this is a full motion racing sim. It's down in Centennial. You can go to denverracingsocial.com. Our buddies from Shift Magazine have been there. So folks in attendance will have full access to a full motion racing sim while we're there. So we're gonna figure out some stuff to do with the sim and setting lap times and stuff like that. I've thought of a license plate gauntlet that we're gonna be able to put people through to kind of get to the end. We're gonna have some prizes. They're not gonna be good, but we're gonna have some prizes. And anybody that's in attendance, I'm going to have one of my tires there from last autocross season, one of my super cooked tires. I'm going to bring a bunch of paint markers, and I want folks to sign the tire. Write whatever you want on it. It's going up on my garage wall. So there you go. And if you can't attend, go ahead and leave us a voicemail, 720-515-1391, and we'll play it live on the show.
Yes. So if you have any message for us for our 500th show, please leave it for us in a voicemail or a text or email. Or we'd love to see you there.
Absolutely. April 10th. It's a Thursday night. We're booking from 6 to 10 p.m. But more details will be coming out as we firm them up. But yeah, save the date, right?
Yes. Edit. Here.
Yeah, back to our fucking show. Ian.
Dave.
Apex Adjacent Automotive Podcast.
Thus and so, yes.
Ian, first of all, I noticed you're drinking something fancy over there, so I'm going to drink something fancy on my side. What do you got over there?
I've got a hotel-made Boulevardier. It's like a Negroni, but with whiskey.
Oh, okay. All right. I have a Topo Chico tangerine with ginger extract. I've never had one of these before, but guess what? They were on sale, so I bought them. Yeah, that's how I make my beverage choices.
Yeah.
So cheers, buddy. Cheers.
How does that taste? It was on sale.
Delicious. It tastes like $8 for an 8-pack.
I love it.
Yeah.
Great.
Ian, I have to tell you, I thought about you a lot this week. I mean, just in general, but just in case your whole gig that has put you up in a very fancy hotel, for the audio listeners, Ian has like a gold mirror behind him. Yes. I
will say the number of man hours I spent to ensure that I got booked at this hotel versus other hotels. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyway, go ahead.
Does this hotel have a gold fuck mirror? No, then I'm not staying there. That's how Ian books his hotels. Does it have zebra pillows? No, then
Exactly.
I'm not staying there. Uh-huh.
Get it away from me. Get it out of my sight.
Well, Ian, should this job not pan out for you, I found your backup plan.
Oh.
Yeah, I found a job that you would truly excel at.
Okay.
And people would be very thankful to have you specifically in this role. Okay?
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Your video just went away for a second. Are you hiding? What are you doing?
I'm not. Your video froze too. So hotel
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
Are you pulling up Indeed right now to look for the job title that I'm going to tell you?
I'm not. No. I was
Okay.
trying to adjust the video so it continued to work. I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah. So, Ian, okay. I did a thing this week that you don't do. I tested my car's emissions this week.
Okay.
It was Luther's turn in the bucket. So I took Luther to the emissions testing place. You know, there's a couple lines there. There's the all-wheel drive and traction control vehicles. And then there's, everyone else, right? So I get in the everyone else line, right? Because I'm in Luther. And I'm in the booth waiting for them to test it. And they're having some kind of problems. Like it's not accelerating. And at first, they put it on the front wheel. They put the rollers on the front. And
no!
I know another guy in the booth like looked at he was like watching because he was also nervous about his Honda Civic or whatever was there, and right we make real friendships there, real bonds, and he just looked at me and he goes, "That's not front wheel drive, is it?" And I was like, "Oh no, it's not." And he was like, "Well, they're gonna find out, aren't they?" I was like, they will as soon as it launches off the rollers.
So what did you do? Did you run out there and be like, whoa, 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 whoa?
No, they moved it forward. They figured it out fast enough that like I wasn't nervous about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
but it was just funny to see that like legitimately sit on the rollers. And they know about us, Ian, in that they have signs up where they say no photography, no video. Like you're not allowed to do any of that stuff. They get very angry. So we have to sneak our photos, right?
Yeah, which we do.
Yeah.
we have both violated those signs to text each other.
Yes.
But I'm doing the baby. Yeah.
Right. And they also, I mean, like, does that rule go out the window if you blue screen the equipment, Ian? I mean, like, right?
Absolutely. If you're about to launch my car because you put the wrong drive wheels on the rollers, absolutely.
Right. Right. Yes. Yeah. I deserve to have a full film crew behind me, like a director of photography if you're doing that. So they got timeout.
I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna stand up a hotspot because I cannot. You're completely frozen.
Oh, okay. Your video coming to me is fine, but let me see if I can reduce what's going out to you, because maybe I'm sending you a hot 4K. Oh no, my send resolution is 360p.
Yeah, it was real bad. I'm gonna try switching Wi-Fi.
Okay.
To my phone and.
Ian is gone.
Okay. Different, better. Okay.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, that looks. It looks better. Yeah.
It does look better. Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm moving. Can you see my sweet? Yeah.
Yes, I can see you now. Oh my god.
Gotcha.
Wi-Fi, man.
Yeah. No problem. You're the
Fucking works.
only
Okay.
person on hotel Wi-Fi not consuming gigabytes of pornography right now.
It's true. Right now, correct. Yes.
Just motion to the gold fuck mirror behind you. Yeah. You're gonna think about me saying that for the rest of the trip, aren't you?
I am, yeah. Well, I'm only here one night, and then I'm going to Dayton, where I'm going to be staying in a much less nice hotel.
Yeah, don't say in Dayton. Yeah, where are you now?
I'm in Ohio. I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's get back to it. Okay.
Okay.
So, yes. What was I saying? I should be able to have a full film crew if you're going to launch my car off the rollers, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
That
Director
is
of
our
photography.
right and our responsibility, I would say.
Thank you. It's in the bylaws.
Yeah.
So they get the car on the correct rollers. They put the rear wheels on the rollers and they start it up and the car's not accelerating, right? Like you see the little arrow and there's a line for anybody who doesn't have insight into this. And they're supposed to accelerate the car so that the little arrow like stays green as the testing equipment is supposed to ramp up, right? Yeah. And the arrow wasn't going up. Like something seemed, I don't know. And it turned out the traction control was kicking in.
Right.
Right. And I guess I've just always gone to the 4-wheel rollers before because sometimes that's the only line they have open. This is Colorado, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of 4-wheel drive. Yeah.
Right. And I think like 2 other times, like they just plugged in the OBD thing and didn't even put it on the rollers and Luther went through, right?
Right.
Yeah, an experience you will never have.
No, I will never have. So what did they end up doing? Did they move you to the traction control rollers or do they just like, nah, that's good enough?
No, this is where you come in because there were 2 employees trying to figure out what was going on. One of them being the person that put the front wheels on. So, you know, this is the base they're operating from. And then from like when we were at Unser and we saw somebody stuck underneath the barrier, what did we see happen? Right? We saw people
emerging from doors that we didn't even know existed.
There you go. Yes. Yes. Right? Yes.
Yeah. So the last time we were at Unser, there was this big crash and somebody wedged themselves under the barriers and there was employees emerged from, and I cannot stress to people how many hundreds of laps we have done around this place without noticing that there's a door at this part of the track that people emerged from. We didn't even know the door existed, much less there were people behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, okay, so you had a similar a similar situation. I've been in other situations where that's happened, right? Where you're like, what? People just appear out of nowhere. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yes. A tiny lady appeared out of nowhere and got in the car and held down the traction control button and turned it on.
A+.
Yes.
A+.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. And so she was the one that ended up ringing me up and I was like, thank you so much for, knowing it was the traction control. I was like, I bet you could turn off traction control on like 99% of vehicles. And she was like, I don't even think about it anymore. Ian, first of all, you're already married and you have children. So other than this being the perfect woman for you, right?
Yeah.
This is your calling, Ian.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know that was a job that existed, but be able to get into a vehicle and immediately know how to turn off traction control. That's sort of my thing.
Right. Yeah. Like this is like how they're like, oh, this car, you got it in the movie, like the action movie, like when they're vetting the new guy. Oh, you got to steal this car in 20 seconds or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
You got to get in and turn off the traction control in 30 seconds before some idiot comes out of the booth that we locked him in. Yeah.
You know what's funny about that is that I had a rental. I'm traveling for work, and I have a rental car, and I got a Polestar, and in the Polestar, you don't have like Android Auto or Apple CarPlay or whatever. You just have the built-in thing. First of all, somebody had signed into a rental car with their Google account and left it signed in. I signed you out. You're welcome, Rick.
Fucking Rick.
But also,
this is going to happen so much, and we're going to get calls from our folks or, know, people that we know, and they're like, something happened to my email. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Why is Gmail only recommending strip clubs to me now? Yeah, because you left yourself signed in to the rental car, you dummy.
Right? Right?
Anyway, so Rick, you're welcome. Also, I accidentally figured out how to turn off traction control in the Polestar before I could figure out how to pair my phone.
Oh, really?
Just by accident. I stumbled upon the traction control screen, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good to know for later.
I like that, like, you just go into a fugue state, like your eyes roll back in your head, and when you come to, you're in the car doing a burnout.
Yeah, basically.
At the booth where they're asking you for your driver's license, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so Ian, I found your calling, buddy, you know?
That is definitely my calling. I love that.
Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, Luther passed emissions, flying colors. I got the sheet over here. The V8 runs so clean, man. Like, I don't know what. Oh, so for the NOx, for the, what is it? I don't know what those are. NOx,
nitrous oxide, right?
Yeah, I think so. For the GPM of that, the Vigan PETA, it kept failing on that one. It's 1.5 GPM. And I got it at like 1.48 by like putting octane booster in and running it real hot. And just sitting there, the Lexus does it limit 1.5. The Lexus does 0.048. Yeah.
Nice.
So much lower, you know?
Toyota, man.
Right?
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, I have a segue actually, because you have charts and graphs about how Luther did.
Mm-hmm.
I have a piece of science.
Okay.
A chart and or graph about the future of Tesla. And it comes from, I would say, the most reputable source
oh boy
that you can come by for like the mood about Tesla, which is a 10-year-old boy.
Okay, this is your son. No.
Yes, so Nico brought this home. He is very excited about the sudden let's say misfortunes of the company of Tesla and its CEO Elon Musk, and he brought home a chart, and if you see it in chart form, the numbers don't lie, and so now we see.
Okay.
So please, I have it in the current show folder, so if you could show the people.
Okay. It's called It's Just Numbers. Let's see here.
It's just numbers. And we have, he has, God bless him, at the most charitable way of saying it, Christopher Robin spelling.
He's
Rivian, spelled actually correctly. Which, good job. Lucid, not even close.
I like that you're taking down your kid's spelling that you're kind of responsible for.
Oh, his spelling is atrocious. But you know what? Everything else, fantastic. Fantastic. Because you know what else? He showed me this chart originally, and I was like, "Hey, what about like, Chevy and Ford and Kia, like the legacy automakers?" And so he put the other line in there, and so that's the other line.
Okay.
But it looks like maybe he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like he put little peaks and valleys in there,
Right? Like he knows.
Yeah. And I would say that, again, I think I've periodically kind of reported about the mood of 10-year-old boys
Yes.
as it goes with Elon Musk, because the demographic for Elon Musk is 10-year-old boys, right? That's the target demographic.
Yeah.
And if you've lost 10-year-old boys, I will say they have one classmate whose dad has a Cybertruck.
Oh.
And none of them are happy about it. It's pretty hilarious. And I feel like if you've lost 10-year-old boys and you own a rocket ship company,
yeah, right, that has sold
fucked up.
Right? They've sold flamethrowers in the past, right?
Yeah.
How do you lose 10-year-old boys?
I don't know. I don't know. But he found a way to do it. He owns a rocket ship company.
Yeah, by being a fucking Nazi. Turns out 10-year-old boys, not too hip on that either.
But I'm happy to report that for 10-year-old boys, Nazi trumps rockets.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. I love the just sharp descent of the red Tesla line on the graph. Like,
I hope he's correct. I hope he's right.
Yeah.
I hope he's right.
And I do like that it bottoms out and flatlines on the right-hand bottom corner. Like that had first of all, that's why the red mark is on your kitchen table, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was half paper, half table crayon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's great. I also love that Lucid is like it is like it's okay. It's not like doing Rivian numbers, right?
Yes. His feeling on Lucid is that they're too expensive. That's what he said.
All right. Well, he's on point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you sent me the contender for my next old man sedan.
Yeah.
Right?
The Lucids are depreciating like spoiled milk, which is great news for us.
Right.
To be honest.
Yeah.
But is it though? So that's the question with this generation of like luxury cars and EVs in particular. When the software support goes away, right? Because now, like, you can buy a Saab, and even though the car company doesn't exist anymore, you can get it running and it can work. You can buy a Studebaker.
Right.
The car company hasn't existed for 50 years. That's fine.
Right.
But can you buy a Lucid after Lucid is no more?
Right.
I don't know the answer.
Right. Is there going to be some kind of patch that the non-existence of the patch eventually leads to the bricking of the car, etc. Right? I mean,
and I'm sure people were having this debate when the first ECU came out.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely. Sure.
And that was solved pretty quickly. But this is a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
Than that.
Right.
And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what mix of like software versus hardware makes a Lucid,
Yeah, I'm glad you pitched that, because what I'm envisioning is kind of the difference between an embedded system versus like a discrete, like, just general operating system. Because like an embedded system, like an automotive ECU is like, plug and play. Like, yes, for more modern ones, like stuff like you have to like code Porsche headlights to the cars now, like if you're swapping them, stuff like that happens, right? But like it's an embedded system, right? It's not like, it has like an OS that could crash, like, I mean, it'd be very difficult for that to happen, right? The layers of things going on. But when you're dealing with like just kind of a general purpose computing system that is doing like the thing that you like, doing the thing you want it to do it at more of a software layer than it is at like a hardware layer, right? Or like just an embedded, direct like calls, versus like using an API and, like having these like layers of, like of functionality. That's where stuff gets like, you can't just like go buy like, a Pentium processor for your Lucid,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's designed for that specific purpose.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah. It's a good question.
Yeah. I don't know either, man. Yeah. It's going to be a thing, but you sent me a Lucid that was 260,000 American dollars when it was brand new. Right. And do you remember how much it was and how many miles were on it?
Was it 73,000 or something like that? It was a 70 grand.
I think it was, somewhere between 70 and 80 grand. I don't think it was over $80,000.
No,
right?
It was 70 something $1,000, and it had like
29,000 miles.
What was it? 29,000?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that to me seems like that's a screaming deal. Like, if that was a Maybach and you saw that, you'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm doing that. Right?
Yeah. A flying spur.
Panamera or flying spur. Yeah. Any of those.
Right.
And this, I mean, it seems like it would have less to go wrong with it. Like less hardware for sure to go wrong.
Yeah. But more software.
The software is the big question mark.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know the answer.
Yeah. It is absolutely a risk, right? And it's
an intriguing one though. I mean, that's a crazy deal for 70 grand.
It is. It also makes me wonder what the future of like automotive jailbreaking is going to look like. Because essentially, like people are buying iPhones, right? They're buying walled gardens today. And like, I mean, things like when the Nissan GTR first came out, there was, like it had encryption for the ECU, and like they actually had to crack it to get into the ECU, But like, you're going to have to like find an exploit by like navigating to some sketchy website from the browser in your car that loads some weird compromised PDF that does a buffer overflow so that you can like put in your own TPMS sensors or something,
Yeah, it's going to be really, really weird. And I mean, to be honest, I don't even know, do all these cars run on x86 or is it some like weird proprietary processor? I don't even know. The luxury secondhand EV market is wild and only going to get wilder from here.
Yeah. I hope there's a bunch of nerds with free time that are just hell-bent on cracking so many of these systems.
Yeah, right? I agree.
Yeah. You're talking to a guy that's running an Android OS on remember that little Lenovo device that I have? That I got for $29 on Woot, right? It's not supposed to be doing what it's doing, but fucking nerds figured out how to get it to do some cool shit,
Yeah, totally.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. The future of automotive mechanics and automotive, like people managing automotive technicians, stuff like that. I don't know. It's a wild landscape for sure.
Well, and I think, the next few years is going to be interesting from a, right to repair perspective as well. Right.
I got like 1/3 of whatever you just said.
I don't know. I said, I think, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. The next few years are going to be pretty wild from a right to repair perspective as well. Like, there's there's somebody in charge of the government who has a pretty vested interest in keeping people from doing right to repair stuff, especially with EVs. So who knows what's going to happen?
Right. Right. It's such a weird like confluence of political ideology right now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because like Joel, Chris Alfrein and I were talking about this because like the tide like turning against Elon for like people like on the center and left, like, okay, that all makes sense. But like people on the right, like actually being pro Elon, you know, and like, I think it boils down to those individuals like just not wanting to be told that they have to buy EVs, right? Like, you know, like not that they're fine with anything existing because heaven forbid they see a gay or trans person just existing and it just sends them into fucking overload, right?
Right.
So like
Totally.
an EV existing is also an affront to them. But like I don't know. It's just such a weird thing happening right now. And like, yeah, like that, like the ultimate Republican ideology is a belief in self-reliance. I'm taking care of my shit and I expect all of you to do the same. Right. And that's how we're going to function. We're all going to take care of our own shit and we're going to be okay. Right. And like to rely on like a walled garden like ecosystem for a vehicle, right? Like where I can't take care of my own shit, like the right to repair, like technically they should be insane advocates for the right to repair, right?
That's an interesting also kind of crossover thing politically too, because the right to repair stuff has come from farmers.
Yeah.
Like that's
the John
who
Deere
cares about that the most. Yes. Yep. The John Deere specifically is exactly like the genesis of all this stuff, because I think all of us are annoyed by the fact that we don't own the things that we own. But for farmers, ladies and gentlemen, we had technical difficulties. It happens.
Yep.
But in the course of the technical difficulties, and given our last conversation, here's where I want to end back up. Dave, did you see the whole, like, we're going to sell Teslas on the White House lawn?
No, thing? You know, yeah, I'm tapped out of the news, so I know nothing about any of this stuff.
Okay.
That sounds like the dumbest thing in the universe. Fine. And of course, I'm sure it's happened.
No. It was a real thing. People are literally lighting Teslas on fire. 10-year-old boys are making graphs like this one. And so everybody in the administration is freaking out about Tesla's falling stock price and Elon being apparently a depressed mess and blah, blah, blah. And so Trump and Elon did like a joint like sales pitch for Tesla they had like Teslas on the White House lawn.
Oh my God.
And did a thing. But Trump is so bad at it. That at one point he got in the car and it was clear the first time he had ever seen a Tesla on the inside, which is also hilarious. And the thing that he said was, oh, wow, I'm so glad the video is finally working because I get to see your face.
Yeah.
He said, wow, everything's computer. That's what he said. That's a quote from the President of the United States of America. Everything is computer.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm not surprised.
Everything is computer. Also, the worst Kraftwerk album.
That's not fair.
I think I may have killed Dave, everybody.
Oh my God. Oh, Topo Chico soothed my throat. I've laughed too hard at Ian's gold fuck mirror and everything's computer.
But everything is computer. I mean, he's not wrong. Everything is computer.
Everything is computer. Yeah.
But also, holy shit.
It would be really funny if he got in and like he didn't know how to close or open the door, or like the door handle just came up in his hand.
But everything is computer.
Everything is computer. Yeah. Yep. Everything is computer. Yeah. I mean, a TI-85 graphic calculator is too much for that dude to comprehend. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
100%.
So, Ian, I have a chart and graph kind of thing as well. This is like, this is the charts and graphs show.
I love it. Science.
Science.
#science.
Ian, we are scientists. We are men of science, Ian.
Sure.
Okay. All right. I have a link I'm going to pull up because I watched an F1 race, Ian. I watched the whole race.
You did?
I did watch a whole race.
Which race? The most recent one? You watched Australia?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I watched.
Okay. Okay.
You said that the highlights thing are bite-sized. I pulled up the highlights and they're 13 minutes long. So go fuck yourself, buddy.
Well, compared to an F1 race, that is bite-sized.
That's not 2 minutes.
Well, to be fair, there were a lot of incidents in this one. So in a normal F1 race,
there weren't.
Do you know how long that fucking race took because of all the like oopsie poopsies and accidents and shit? It took forever. It was a long, long race.
Yeah. Yeah. It rained. There was chaos. Okay. All right. I found a visual representation of like exactly my excitement level watching an F1 race. Okay.
You watched the abridged version of the F1 race. Just to be clear.
I knew everyone's position for every single lap.
Okay, but that's okay. But
Ian,
yes.
For anyone who's not an F1 fan, this is how exciting F1 is. Okay? All right? This comes from an Instagram account called Formula Focus.
Yeah. No,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so exciting. 10, 11, 12.
To be fair,
there's no change on this graph. Oh, a change. Hull and Ant swapped. Paya and Ver swapped.
To be fair, a lot of this is under the safety car.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hang on. People are pitting.
No, it was people crashing.
People crashing, safety car. And then, oh my God, chaos unfolds as everyone pits.
That's the pitting. Yeah.
Yep. And then it basically goes back to the exact same thing, and there's a bit of attrition.
The real excitement comes later when Hamilton and Leclerc go to the top. That was the exciting bit of that race, and that lasted for about 3 minutes in the real time.
When they go to the top, like during the pits?
No, so oh God. Well, you didn't obviously watch the race. So
I did. I'm watching it again as we're doing this.
So this is what you watch. So at one point in the race, this is the thing that happened. The track was drying out, but rain was coming back, and then they were under safety car again, and everybody pitted for new intermediates. Oh, this is this part right here where Hamilton goes to the top. Hamilton, in his first race for Ferrari, led for like a minute and a half. Because everyone thought like, oh, they're geniuses. They're going to stay out on the slicks and be in like the catbird seat, and everyone else is pitting for inters. And surprise, surprise, Ferrari got the strategy wrong. And then they ended up pitting a lap later, and then ended up worse off than when they started. And yeah, that was the most exciting part of the race, and it was Ferrari once again fucking it up.
I mean, I don't want
to. It was a bit of a mess because that track is like, when it rains, that track is just it's just an ice rink. There's like nobody has any grip at all.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like one of the rookies crashed out on the formation lap.
Right.
Which I felt really bad for him. It was a really awful moment. But one good moment, one very sweet moment, Lewis Hamilton's dad found him in the pits and was consoling him. It was very sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton's dad is like a legit sweet dude.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
That's all I have. That's the best thing I can say about the Australian Grand Prix is that we got confirmation that Lewis Hamilton's dad is amazing.
But I think that it does speak to the amount of things surrounding the actual race that are available for enjoyment, right? Because there's so much like that, all the technology and all of this stuff. Like, sure, yes, the race is literally the least exciting part of all of that.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes. Yeah. This time in particular, yes.
Yeah.
They would spend a lot of time tiptoeing around. They weren't able to be very exciting. And also, like, it's the first race of the season, so they were all trying to learn their cars and blah, blah, blah. And
don't make excuses for them.
I will make excuses forever for them.
It's okay that you like it. It's okay.
This is like
the whole thing.
Like, you know what? Oh, can I bring it back to? I'm going to bring it back to politics for just a second to say that being an F1 fan is very similar to being a Democrat, right?
Okay.
Because like these last couple weeks, the Democrats have not like availed themselves well. I'm talking to you, Chuck Schumer, and it's very similar. We're like, this is the pinnacle. This is the best available option,
right,
for motorsports. But also, they fucking suck. You know,
right? Or the thing that happens sucks.
I think they both misunderstand their purpose, right? Like,
okay,
with F1, they're supposed to entertain us,
right?
And they are piss poor at that. They took away the fastest lap thing. That was the one like piece of excitement we had last year. They took that away. And the Democrats, you know, we want people to like say with their whole chest the thing that they believe, and instead they're like, well, baby, if you you know, they like try to triangulate 100 different ways, and people just think you're a dumb tryhard instead of like just have a real
thing. Yeah,
do a thing. Same with F1, just do a thing. Do the thing you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know, it's the Dodge journey conundrum, right? You're trying to be all things to all people, and you end up sucking for everybody. Just be a fucking minivan.
Right. Just be a fucking minivan. You can do it. Like, your frustrations are legitimate. Like, they are well-founded, right? Like, I get it. And it like F1 is an institution. It is the Saturday Night Live of racing. Yes, like
Saturday Night Live suffers from this same exact problem.
Why do you think I've been saying this for years? This is because when I initially pitched this, you were like, No,
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Like it's
every now and then you get Stefan, right?
Right.
Yeah, you legitimately do.
Yeah. Fix a problem. Fix a problem and do that.
Right.
Instead of trying to be all things to everybody. And because that doesn't do anything for anybody.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry I broke you and made you hate on your precious F1. But as soon as I saw that highlights 13 minutes, I just said, fuck that. And I found this Instagram reel and I showed my wife and I was like, you want to know how exciting watching an F1 race is? And I hit play and she was like, yeah, that seems like it.
But But that's not a good. It's not a good substitute.
Tell me how it isn't.
Oh, because people are getting closer and then they're falling back and people are spinning off and like.
I saw a dot go away. People are you're really trying to sell me on racing. You're trying to sell me on racing where the dramatic thing is not passing. It's just how close you are to almost passing.
You know what this is? This is like saying this is like raising children by just tracking their standardized test scores. That's what this is.
I don't know.
Oh, they did it pretty well in 5th grade, but in 6th grade, not so much.
I see what you're saying, but you're wrong. Either that or your children are boring.
Well, man.
No, they're not. They're not. You have the 2 least boring children in the universe. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. Of all of the things that you could say about them, boring is not one of them.
No, not at all. You have delightful children. Yes.
And loud.
Well, they're children. They're loud. Yes.
Yeah.
But every time they come over to see the kittens, we're always glad to have them here, and they're always sweet, and we love them. So yeah. But yeah, Ian, this is all the F1 I'm watching this season.
I love it. This is how you're consuming F1.
Yeah, because guess what? I'm going to watch the next race just like this, and it's going to look the fucking same, Ian.
But which dot will be on top, Dave? You don't know.
Yeah.
Will it be an orange dot or a blue dot?
I love that the exciting thing was that like Ferrari fucked up Hamilton's thing with the strategy, and he was at the top for a second. Okay, so the dot's up there. But in the grand scheme of things, yes, it's important that he led for a bit in his first F1 race. Also, it's not like when you say he led, it's not like he passed people on the way to the front. Other people pitted and he was in the lead.
He passed some people. That's fine.
He did pass some people. But to get for that 3-minute lead, he was not 3rd place, then 2nd place, then 1st place. Other people were pitting.
I get that. But that's part of it, right? The pit strategy and the team dynamic is part of it. Right. It's part of the thing that makes it exciting.
Oh, no. See, that's where you're wrong at the end part. Right? I get that it is a part of it. But just because you have drums doesn't mean you're in a band.
Okay. All right. But it's so funny because you like being in the pits in Lemons, right?
Yeah.
Like that's.
Yeah.
And it's fun and exciting, right? So like, is that part of it not exciting from the outside?
No, there's no investment in it. When I'm invested in it, when it's my friends, or like my friends or your father. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Well, I need to make a call about canceling my Lemons Fantasy League. Hold on. I've invested everything into it. Hold on.
Oh God. Yeah, no, first I get very, and also like I'm there, like this is like a baseball thing. If somebody asks me to go to a baseball game, I will go and I will enjoy myself because, sure, like it's a cool thing to observe, right? If someone was to ask me to an F1 race, I would be into it when I was there. So like the Lemons thing is absolutely proximity and personal investment from my friends, a car that I helped build, all that stuff, right? That's exciting, right? And I get why you dig F1. I get it. Like it's not that it doesn't deserve to have fans and a following. It absolutely does. But I think that your frustrations, like, I can't believe that I got you to turn on your baby for a minute.
No. I mean, I love it and I can't defend it.
Right. And that's okay. That's okay. Right.
Yeah.
We're making, like, we always make these irrational things and that's okay. Right. Is me driving a Fiat 500 Abarth really a rational thing for a 47-year-old man to do? And then to sink thousands of dollars into it to race it? This is a fucking rational, like, who is this for?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So yeah, I get it. And I am absolutely there with you about irrational enthusiasm.
Great.
Right?
Good.
So
Because again, love it, cannot defend it.
Yeah. And I'm watching every race this season. Thanks to you, formula.focus on Instagram. The best. Link in the YouTube description.
No.
Yeah, I love this comment.
I do not endorse this at all.
This one. Love this graphic showing driver positions throughout the race. Really cool.
Yeah, good job, AI.
Well, that comment was as exciting as the race. So, you know. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's just that F1 deserves to be graded on a curve, right? And that's okay. It's okay. Right?
Mm-hmm. This is what Europeans find entertaining. Yes.
Yeah.
They don't know that they can have B-52 flyovers. It's okay.
Honestly, right? Yeah.
They can have a guy in a jetpack? What?
Yeah. That golf tournament I went to had an Air Force flyover. That was fucking rad because, it was like right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway. But
for golf. They do that for golf.
Yeah, when people are pounding Coors Tall Boys at 7 a.m.
And those are the athletes.
You ever see that interview with John Daly where he's showing the journalist his golf course that he made in Missouri?
No.
Oh my God. So I'm not a sports guy, but I have friends that are sports people. And
yeah, John Daly is a real one, yeah.
Right? So John Daly, other than I know that he is like just an unhinged person, kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
totally.
There was a journalist that went to this golf course that John Daly was building in Missouri, and John Daly played around with this like television news guy. John Daly has no shirt on, is chain smoking cigarettes, and is barefoot in jeans, in full length jeans in Missouri ass humidity, belly just hanging, and he is fucking sending it and destroying this journalist, of course, because John Daly, like he's legitimately an insanely talented golfer, right?
Yeah.
But the whole interview is just Daly shirtless. It's so good.
That's great. I'm gonna watch that as soon as we're done.
I gotta just find you a screenshot, from it because oh my God, it's the best. Yeah. Also, here it is. Here's a screenshot from the interview. Just shirtless John Daly. Yep, there he is, man. Yep. So we'll put a link to that YouTube video in the show notes too. That's one to watch. Yeah. So I don't know. Why did we land on a shirtless John Daly? Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, don't listen to Dave. Watch F1.
Yeah, I'm watching the F1 graphs, and I'll tell you. Yeah.
Watching the graphs.
I saw all those dots going across, and I had that like, oh yeah, this feels right moment. You know that like when you like slide a thing into the cabinet and just fits right into like the space that like, and it's like, oh, like that was meant to be there. That's how that graph video fit into my head. It was like, exactly. This lines up with everything I believe in.
All my preconceived notions about F1 confirmed.
Right? Yes. Yeah. That was my mental equivalent of an idiot finding Scientology.
Right.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah. Ian, what else do we have to talk about? I mean,
I don't know. You had a couple of things on the talk abouts. I closed that browser, so I don't have it anymore.
That's okay. Don't open anything for the love of God. Okay. Yes.
I have an album. I don't know where we are.
Okay. Yeah. The only other thing that I had was that I got high, Ian.
Oh.
Yeah. In the most boring way, to prep for my lift, I got my high lift garage door installed.
Oh.
Yep. So here it is.
This is not boring. This is not boring, everybody. I don't know if everyone has felt this joy before, but the news that your friend is getting a lift in their garage is maybe, I don't know if there's a German word for it or something, like a real long German word for it or something, but the emotion that you feel when you hear your friend is getting a lift in their garage, that's just like a special flavor of euphoria that I feel like deserves its own word.
Right. Yeah. Like it's the thing of like, you don't want to own a boat, but you want a friend that has a boat.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I'm the boat.
You don't want a pickup truck. You want a friend with a pickup truck. Right.
Right. Yeah. And I would imagine one of the first vehicles on this lift will be Sal's truck when we give it a solid.
Right. Will be my friend with the pickup truck.
Yeah.
It'll be a real confluence of friend with pickup truck meets friend with lift. Yeah. Absolutely. So, well, congratulations, Dave.
Thank you, buddy.
This is a major milestone.
It is. It's a big step, right? Yeah. So, there's the lift. There's the side garage door opener.
Oh man, how satisfying was taking off that plastic?
Very. I installed that mammer jammer.
Really?
Yeah. So the company I used was great. Rainer Garage Door here in Colorado. Like talking to the guy, he was like, just buy the garage door opener on Amazon. You can get it for cheaper than we can. And and he was like, you can, if you want, you can install it yourself. Look at the instructions. And I was like, oh yeah, like I got this. Never installed a garage door opener before. It took me about a day to properly do it. But yeah, so there you go. Now the lift, nice. I can't install myself, but there you go. Yeah.
That's probably smart. Yeah. If you're going to be under it,
yes,
you want a professional. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And also, the way that they did all the scary stuff. So the garage door spring, everyone on the face of the planet, you need to be terrified of garage door springs because they can kill you. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you
we don't have just to be clear, we don't have a legal department here. Last I checked. This is not like, like a disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. You should be terrified of those things. They are horrendous.
Yes. Yeah. There's
so much energy stored in those.
Yeah. Have you had one like snap or go off near you?
I haven't, but I've eyed many warily. Yeah. And I know that you have had one. Mm-hmm. You've had an experience, right?
Yes. My late father and I were in my childhood home's garage in Missouri. And we were in the garage, like doing something, like just like getting some, like, like putting something away or taking out the trash or something. I can't even remember, like completely innocuous. And all of a sudden it sounded like a gunshot going off. And we just like, it was that complete like frozen moment where like you look at each other and you're like, I'm okay. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay? Like that, like, and one of the springs had just snapped. Right?
No, thank you. Yes. No, ma'am. I don't like that.
Right. So when the guys were here doing the converting the rail so that the garage door goes up high, I asked one of the guys, I was like, have you ever had a close call with a spring? And he was like, I have not, but I have a coworker that has skin grafts on his hand because of one. And he said that a coworker of his was trying to cut a little bit of time and not have to go back through the customer's house, like taking his shoes on and off and stuff like that. And instead of having the proper winding tool to wind the spring, he decided to use a couple screwdrivers, which like broke loose, and the spring actually tore the skin off of his hand.
Yeah. No, thank you.
And
that sounds awful.
Right? And that's getting away lucky with something like that. So like safety with that shit is no joke, man.
Yeah. There is a crazy amount of energy balled up in those springs. So
yeah. Like the PSA portion of the podcast, I have a soapbox that I get on with like safety every now and then, and you are right there. Like you need to protect your hearing. You got to wear earplugs, and you got to wear hearing protection when you're banging metal on metal. right? And you don't fuck with garage door springs, hire a professional. You know?
I mean, I always joke about like safety third, but like garage door springs, fuck that shit.
Right. This is not I think I could. Nope.
No.
Right. Yeah. Either the pros are doing it or it doesn't get done, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And another thing, gas lines. I don't mess with gas lines. You know, the only gas line is this one right here. Yeah. My intestines.
And another thing, I like that it's Andy Rooney, but PSAs.
Right. Yeah. Like things that you're like, that's not a bad idea. Maybe he has a point.
And another thing, you should buckle up before you drive.
Right? And another thing, you can send junk mail back.
My God.
So old man Dave.
That's how they get you, by getting you to not look both ways before you cross the street.
Yep. You need an ill-fitting sports coat that you bought 30 years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, it looks like I bought this cardigan 30 years ago, but I love it.
I do like your fit right now. You got the cardigan and gym shorts on.
Absolutely. This is I just checked into this hotel and I only brought a carry-on.
You're the only person that's ever worn an outfit that looks like Mr. Rogers upstairs and then could legitimately get their testicles stuck on the vinyl chair that they're sitting on.
Hey, you don't know what Mr. Rogers was into. Don't judge.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Oh, Ian, what do you say you hit us with an album?
Yeah, we need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with an album that came out quite recently. And to be honest, I have been a little like lukewarm on at first, but it's grown on me. And now I'm kind of into it. And it's actually one that you mentioned the other night in our chat. It is the new album by Doves.
Oh yeah.
Constellations for the Lonely.
Yeah. Shout out to Sam to hipping me to this one. Yeah. Thank you, Sam.
I am a very long time Doves fan. I've been a Doves fan for 25-ish years, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, 25 years. And I listened to the single off this record and I did not like it.
Okay.
And it's still my least favorite song on the record, but there's other stuff on here that's really great. And Doves is, worth a listen. If you like Elbow or any of the like later Britpop stuff, or the stuff that kind of like the good stuff that kind of came out of Britpop. So they're in like kind of the Radiohead, Elbow sort of vein of stuff that came out of that era.
Yeah, like Brett Anderson's solo stuff from Suede.
Yeah. All that stuff. So yeah, check this out. It's really good. The single notwithstanding, I don't remember which song it is, but there's a couple of really great songs on here.
Yeah.
Cold Dreaming is really, really good. It's very old. It sounds like old school Doves, which is great.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice, dude. Okay. Yeah, Doves, link to their official online store and Apple Music and Spotify in the YouTube description.
Yes.
There we go.
We did a car show.
Yeah. Come out and see us at the Denver Racing Social on April 10th.
Yes, please. Send us your license plates, or if you want to come to the taping of our 500th episode, 720-515-1391, apexadjacent@gmail. We're on Blue Sky. You know how to get a hold of us. Everybody, thank you. We love you. Goodbye.